Heinrich, I want to thank you so much for coming to the show to talk to us about the recently held SONA address. Now, I think what's most important is what are some of the key points that were outlined within the SONA that impact Joburgers?
Well, you know, as Outa, we had the 4 E's that we were looking at going into SONA. One was the economy, which affects us all, but especially the powerhouse that is Johannesburg. The other was employment and our high and staggeringly high unemployment statistics. And the third one was around energy and electricity supply and consistency. And then the fourth one was around the enforcement of law, especially around corruption. And being Outa, we threw in the fifth one, which is around e-tolls. So those are our 5 E's actually. And so we listened very carefully. The president did make some very bold commitments, which we appreciate. Around the economy, he spoke about practical ways of restructuring. He spoke about a sovereign wealth fund, for example, that has the potential to stabilize our economy to a degree, but that comes with its own risks. He spoke about looking at different sectors and sectors that impact us here in Joburg, the automotive industry, textile industry, and revitalization in those areas. He spoke about the ease of doing business being a priority, and so small and medium-sized enterprises being boosted. So we saw some commitments in the economy we were happy about. In terms of employment, he focused importantly on the youth. We know that we have a 29% unemployment rate, 40% amongst that critical youth segment, which is an epidemic. And so having the youth employment service strengthened, which has already created jobs, and having other presidential commitments around that was good. In terms of energy, well, this is one of the biggest problems we're facing in Joburg. Every time there's load shedding, it impacts not just lives, but it also impacts the economy of the city quite dramatically. And so a commitment to that unbundling process.
For you, what are some of the key concerns that were not raised within the speech itself?
In the SONA in June 2019, he spoke about a commitment to fighting hunger. We know hunger is one of the major social problems we face in our country. There wasn't really mention of that in the SONA. And so, you know, looking at the commitments made, particularly around structural inequalities, and not seeing that reflected again in this SONA was concerning. We also do have some concerns around the Sovereign Wealth Fund. We think that it could potentially, again, be very, very important as a stabilizing factor. But if we have any inkling of state capture coming into that process, it could have a devastating consequences. So we want to see more being done around that. And then finally around municipalities. We know that we've had a massive problem. The AG reports have shown us again and again of collapsed municipalities, of Section 139 interventions. And so we hear about this district development model, but it's not clear as to what exactly that is. Is that now another layer coming in between the 3 layers? How is that going to help rescue failing municipalities?
Now let's talk about service delivery, major bone of contention for so many years. How best is tangible service delivery attainable?
It is possible. We have enough resources, and we've got many good civil servants. But there's certain things that are hamstring civil service delivery in our country. We've seen, obviously, from the perspective of Outa, corruption and maladministration being critical. So dealing with those issues, but then also moving to saying, well, if we can deal with the issues of corruption and maladministration, we know there are many, many, many good civil servants. How do we help professionalize the civil service? How do we help to remove political interference from their duty so that they can get on with serving the people? And so having a proper balance between the politicians and the civil servants, I think, will help a long way in civil service delivery. There has to be, you know, we speak about this idea of a social compact. There has to be a coming together of citizens and government to say, we need to do this differently. We cannot allow political interference to hamper civil service delivery anymore. We as citizens, we demand more, we demand better. After all, it's our tax money that actually funds the services, and our vote that hires the politicians to manage our resources. So it's actually about us as the people. We are the shareholders of the country. And to say we want to do things differently. We understand that politics is important. Political vision is obviously vital, and leadership. But we want to do this differently. And we want more accountability both from the politicians and from the civil servants.
Hi, I'm Jen Sue, and you're watching Joburg Today.